session on joint ventures, JVs and global mergers. So JVs are agreements to work together on a project for a specific period of time. And meanwhile, global mergers, they're more formal. They're agreements between two businesses in different countries to permanently join together. Now, the generic reasons why you'll do either of these two approaches: number one, spread risk. Spread risk, diversify across different countries, different regions. For example, you might have a recession in one country, but you're protected against the downside because another country might be in a different stage of the economic cycle. Secondly, to enter new markets or be able to access trade blocks. So it will give you an instant presence in a market, or as a way to overcome tariffs or quotas or some form of protectionism. Number three, acquiring brand names or patents, particularly if those brand names or patents are useful in one specific region or one specific country, and therefore it gives you fast, immediate access. Number four, while securing resources or securing supplies, you could be thinking about vertical integration here. That could be forward or backwards vertical integration, and that might be strategically important. Strategically important if you're thinking about protecting your sales or reducing your costs, or reducing your costs because you're looking to have access to your supplies. And finally, to maintain or to increase your global competitiveness, because that's just the nature of business, and it might be you need to do that to support shareholder value. And you'll want to, of course, stay ahead. The last thing to think about is the specifics within the pros and cons for joint ventures and global mergers. So in terms of JVs, the main pros are, well, you're going to get expertise from both of those workforces, and that could lead to certain specialisms, depending on who you do the joint venture with, of course. And then you might have shared risk, and additionally, you're both going to get additional revenue streams from this, and that could mean diversification. But the problems of this, well, both parties, they're going to have their own interests at heart, and that could lead to conflict there. Or it could be because there's an imbalance in expertise between these two businesses. And secondly, you'll be thinking of the fact that you're not going to be able to exploit economies of scale as well as if you were in a global merger, which is the main pro of global mergers, is economies of scale, likely leading to lower average cost per unit. Additionally, of course, global mergers will also have diversification, and they'll be resilient to economic shocks. And thirdly, the global merger could lead to the business growing their market share, of course, but it could become the market leader as a consequence of doing the global merger. So they could become the market leader. However, that could lead to more regulation, and it would attract regulation from governments, and that could lead to more costs. And the last thing you'll want to think about is the corporate cultures, and if there's going to be a clash between the cultures in those two businesses that have done the global merger. I hope that helps. I'll see you at the next sesh.